Awesome. Well, welcome everyone to our second webinar of our series with Tom Shea with Profits Plus. He has a website called profitsplus.org, which he'll refer to, and we'll put some links in the chat today. But he's going to be talking about Stop Giving Away Your Profit is the name of the webinar today. He's had over 25 years of management experience and small business ownership experience. So he's a lot of really great information to share with us today. My name is Brianna. I'm with the Iowa SBDC, and I will just let Tom take it away.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with me bright and early. I've got some great ideas I'd like to share with you today, hoping that you'll take them to heart and consider adding them to what you're doing. Today's lesson comes from personal experiences as I travel about, as I just simply go and visit a business. I'm seeing a situation that greatly concerns me, deals with the way as to how we are marketing and how we are having rewards and incentive programs and the I think the fallacy that we have with most of them. So what I want to enlighten you with today is first to get you to think about the one you got. And I want you to use these tools that we've provided to go through, look at yours, and see what could you be doing differently that would make you more profitable. Part of the reason that I'm so encouraged by this lesson is that I had a person call me earlier this year. And as we were discussing, she made a comment that she had attended a live seminar. Well, obviously that goes back to at least a year plus ago. And she heard someone speak about doing a rewards program differently. And so she thought what they said made sense. She started taking and making the changes. And then when she found our website and used the free calculator that we're going to use today, she suddenly realized that the reward/incentive program that she had was costing her money. She was actually losing money as she gave incentives to people. So the second one was, again, a personal experience. And I walked into a business and I'm watching people who go to the checkout. They bring their products that they're wanting to buy. And the person in the business says, "Are you a part of our rewards program?" Person says, "Yes." They say, "What's your phone number?" And the customer gives the phone number. And then the person says, "You've got $20 in your rewards card. Would you like to use it right now?" And the person goes, "Okay." So here was a customer of which my best estimate was they were going to spend $200. And all of a sudden the store says, "Nah, we'll take $180. You just keep $20. And I go, "Are you kidding me here? This person was getting ready to hand you money and you decide no." So I have signed up for their program. The sad part is they don't do any way to market to me. This is the total thing. They expect you, the customer, to remember that they have a rewards program. And when they do, the only thing you're going to hear about it is when you get to the cash register. Now, they do Facebook, but their Facebook is simply to anyone that follows them on the page. There's nothing that they're doing special for it. So let's just start at the beginning and look at advertising as a whole. What do we see out there? What's going on? I think we kind of need to be creative. I need to think that we need to be looking at things differently. My father used to have a saying, and it was something to the effect of, if everyone's advertising, excuse me, looks like, then someone in our group isn't thinking. And if we want to try something different, we've got to think very differently. So I've brought a few pictures to share with you this morning. Obviously, some people are not real good at the way they are coming up with their ideas for advertising to people, or maybe someone's just not reading the sign very carefully as to what they're doing. I'm not quite so sure how this works. If funerals are 50% off, is that supposed to like inspire me to hurry up and die so I could save my family some money? And then I found this one that yeah, I'm not so sure people in this particular business get the idea of what 50% or half price is. Apparently, this throws them a little bit. And the last one from this particular business is you look at it and they just, okay, how far can you go? How it concerns you as a business owner that if they take and have this big a discount, you got to kind of wonder what's the margin they got to begin with on this particular product. Now, the examples that I give for this lesson do come from retail. I'm talking with a business owner right now who is a service industry, and he says, I get the message of this. And he says, this is very adaptable. So whether you're a product, whether you're a service, whether you are online, or whether you are brick and mortar, the lessons that we have today apply to everyone. And with everyone, it just requires adapting to your unique business. And the more so that you see a very different kind of business doing something, all the better that you adapt it to what works with you. For example, later today, the person whose story I told you about, the person coming to the cash register and being asked if they wanted to use their $20, I'm going to see them. I'm going to see another person who has a business about 150 miles away from them, and dadgum, they do the same exact thing in their area of business. That's kind of it. That's the way everyone wants to do it. And I go, there's no creativity. There's nothing special about it. Matter of fact, in advertising as a whole, I see a major problem. Um, Seems to be that Thursday is kind of a key day for people. We are wanting to get people to come and do business with us. And so we're expecting that we're going to do more business over the weekend, thinking there are more folks who have Saturdays and Sundays off. And what we do is we keep repeating the same concept over and over and over. We do item and price. Here's an item, here's a special price. And as we do this, I'm wondering, couldn't we do something a little different? Couldn't we do something that's a little different that would make us less dependent upon item and price advertising, as well as do something to get people to come to our business more often and without that incentive of it always has to come a price? Now, the concept of having an incentive or reward program, research says it does work, but just having it and making it look like everybody else's is not making it work as it should. And my gosh, I hope people are doing the math that we're going to talk about today to see where it should be for their business. Because in doing this, this can't be my example works for absolutely everybody. Because I don't know your customers and I don't know the particular numbers for your business that I'm asking for today. Hence why we have this calculator for you. But when we go for discounting, we're creating multiple problems. I mean, think about the idea that you item and price advertise wherever you might do it. Say even on Facebook or social media, what we're setting up with the customer is this expectation. We don't want this expectation. The first thing we have a problem is that this takes right off the bottom line of your business. You know, a 20% discount is 20% right off of it. So think about, could you operate your entire business by discounting everything 20% off? Well, unless you've got a bottom line that's like 30 or 40%, which I'm still looking for the first business to see that in, when you take that big of a discount, your bottom line is going away. So this concept can't work. When we do this constant item and price type of advertising, and we use it to draw a customer for the first time to our business, it sets up an expectation that this is what always happens. So when we have in our business a traditional, well, every Tuesday is such and such day, or every Thursday or every Friday is a such and such day. I mean, for example, liquor stores, Wine Wednesday and Beer Thursday. Every Wednesday, this is the discount on our wine prices. every Thursday, this is our discount on our beer prices. What we're doing is training people to not buy wine from us except on Wednesdays. We're teaching them to not buy beer from us except on Thursdays because they all know that this is the day that you're going to get the best price on it. And we train people to this way. And then when we get a new customer and we bring them in on a first time item and price deal, the problem that we've got is that there's an expectation. Oh, this business discounts things. Research shows that the bigger the discount, the less likely you're going to get the customer to come back. The magic number is 30%. When we hit 30%, you're fairly well little to no chance that the customer is going to come back to be a loyal customer. Why is this so? What you're drawing at this point is the price shopper, the person who makes a point to look for the best price wherever they go. I have a friend, he'll remain somewhat nameless, but his thing would be he'd call me and say, let's go to lunch this week. And it would be a different place almost every week because what he would do would be go through the newspaper on Sunday and clip every restaurant's discount coupon for the week. And that's where he wanted to go eat. Whoever had the biggest discount that week, that's the place that he wanted to go shopping. Now, many of us have customers like this. We call them price shoppers. However, in our particular business, we had a standing joke with all of our staff that said, what's the difference in a catfish and a price shopper? Okay, what's the difference in a price shopper and a catfish? And the answer of it is one of them is bottom feeding pond scum, and the other one is a catfish. Yes, we thought that little of people who made a point to price shop. I don't want to work to get that customer. I don't want to see you work to get that customer. It becomes a losing proposition. Similar to this, we have this situation that happens. Businesses that create a clearance corner or a clearance section somewhere in the business. So I think of a couple of years ago being in a community out west, and this business had taken over a building that had been a 1950s, 1960s style department store. And one of the back areas, back side rooms of their business was their discount, their clearance thing, and everything that they wanted to get rid of because it had sat on the shelves too long went back to this particular area. Until I pointed out to the owner, I said, does the landlord give you a discount on the rent for you having merchandise in this section since you're discounting prices? Well, no. Are the utilities in this part of the business less? No. Okay, how about your staff? When they come back to wait on a customer in this part of the building, do they get paid less since you're selling stuff for less? No. So why do we do it? Maybe it's because we see it in businesses like this. These are big stores. Let's see, the store on the left is a Williams-Sonoma. That's a national chain of high-end kitchen stuff. I mean, look at that. It looks like a clutter pack rat's been in there. And the business on the right is Crate and Barrel. Look how stuff is just, it's where merchandise goes to die because they don't take care of it. It's just the clearance. And they know that customers come in who like to scrounge around. And the feeling is that, well, when it looks sloppy like that, people are going to dig around for things. But again, you're not paying less rent. You're not paying any of your utilities less, and you're not paying less on your staff. You've just got a part of the business that's just got junk piled up. And you hope that slowly but surely it goes away. And on merchandise that has price tags on it, what you'll see is a red line through it, a price, and another red line through that price, and another price. I mean, some of them to the point you think they've got to go out and put additional price stickers on them just because they've marked it down so many times. And they put these in the back corners of the stores trying to draw these people in. They're not going to stop and look all over the store. They're going right for the corner. I've even seen businesses that put a big sign out the entrance that say, come look at our clearance corner. See what's new in the clearance corner. Like, ignore all the new stuff we got. Ignore all the regular merchandise. Just come in and scrounge around at our discounts. Merchandising markdowns for those of us who are in the non-grocery business takes $300 billion in sales away, or 12% of our sales overall. Think about it, 12% for retail industry as a whole going away. Could you afford this? Well, the answer is no. Just like these stores I was talking about that were giving away these $20 bills and these 20% margin. No, even at 12%, we can't afford it. We can't do it. So let's look at a different concept. When we look at rewards or loyalty programs, they work. I can't remember the number to tell you this morning, but it's a fairly decent number. The number of rewards or incentive programs that people are a part of, even some unique ones where they take, like Starbucks. Starbucks rewards program requires that you have a Starbucks card. And as you have the Starbucks card, okay, you're putting money on it. It's usually attached to your debit card, your credit card. Wonder how much money Starbucks is holding on to that people have prepaid into Starbucks simply for the option of getting some points that at some point in time they're going to trade in and get a free cup of coffee or free drink, whatever it is that they want from the Starbucks. Okay, that type of program might work great for Starbucks. Customers notice them and they will get rewarded when they go back to these businesses again. However, for the most of us, they're not working the way they should because we haven't taken the time to calculate it, to determine what it needs to be in it, to know just exactly how to make this thing work. Okay? They work fine for the customer, but they're not working fine for us. It's kind of like there's a TV show, Law and Order. And in the show Law and Order, I remember a guy he was the attorney. He was being offered a deal by somebody's attorney who was going to go to jail. And the man told a story about trading something for something else. And he says, it's only a good deal if it works for both of us. Okay, rewards program should be the same thing. It should only work for both of us. It can't work for one and not for the other. So again, my example of the people, you got $20 in your account, and would you like to use this on the purchase? Here's the challenge. You have my phone number. You don't market to me anywhere else. You don't ever send me a message. You will put up a sign on Facebook that says, here's something that's new that's arrived at the store. Or in the case of the person at the liquor store, here's a tasting that we're having. But they're sending that to anyone who follows their Facebook. But the person who has come into the business has shown that they want to shop in that business. Shouldn't that customer be treated than the rest of the mass of humanity out there? The person that's done business with you, shouldn't they get something a little different? Shouldn't it be working to where it's to the advantage of both of us? Here's another example of rewards programs that don't work. Go to a pet store. All right, you have a pet. Pet stores, the issue with them is that pet food has a very low margin. It takes up a lot of space, and generally the store has to buy it in fairly sizable quantities. But it's the one thing that the store has got that the pet owner has to keep coming back for over and over and over. So I see this one. Purchase 10 bags of pet food and we'll give you the 11th bag for free. What's wrong with that? What's wrong is it doesn't engage any other products of the store. It doesn't encourage the customer to go see other parts of the store. It tells them buy 10 bags of pet food, however long that takes you, and we'll give you the next bag for free. If it were to really work, it would get a customer to look at the rest of the store. And somehow or another, the incentive would be on something else other than pet food. If nothing else, at least over to a pet snack or to a collar or leash or something else other than just training that customer to keep going back. Bonefish Grill. Now, Bonefish Grill is owned by the same people. They're out of Tampa, Florida, and the same folks who own Carrabba's and Outback Steakhouse, and there's a fourth one. But I've seen this one go on. People go into a Bonefish. The employee, the waiter, waitress brings them their bill and says, "Are you in our rewards program?" Now, sadly enough, I've seen people who wait there and wait for the customer and go, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm in your rewards program. Here's my phone number." And they go back to the back and they come back. And there's some kind of weird one that they offer a 50% off this visit. Now, so the meal's already over with. From the customer standpoint, there's probably a little bit of disappointment when you go, "Oh my gosh, if I could have had 50% off for this one, I would have taken and eaten the big meal. I would have eaten the more fancy food. I would have drank more wine. I would have had another drink, whatever it would be." But here at the last moment, no, it's over and done with. And then you look at it again saying 50% off. Wow. I don't know the particulars. The downside is Bonefish doesn't seem to make a point to explain it to people very well. I suppose they also have a similar program at Outback and at Carrabba's. But these are programs that just have a problem with them. But most people don't see it as a problem because they go, "Well, if it works for them, this thing ought to work for me." So let's look at what's going on and what happens here. You make any size of purchase, any dollar amount. This to me is the simplest form. It's the least engaging as the store. And I'm trying to say it in the nicest words I could possibly think, but it's the laziest way of having a rewards for somebody. Make any size purchase and it's, "Hey, anything in our store, 25% off." We got a postcard to our house the other day, and sure enough, a gift shop in town. "Hey, it's our annual such and such sale. Come in and you get 40% off anything in the store." And then there's this long paragraph with all the except for this, except for this, except for this type of stuff. I put a lot of time into all the exceptions to it. That is a problem. What happens to the margin? See, this card has gone to people that somehow or another they've gotten names and addresses, but what happens to the margin? 40% off and that's it? Ouch. We're talking a big loss. Where does that go? It goes right to the bottom line and says you've lost. So sometimes people do things like, if you've got a 50% margin, just for simplicity, and you offer a 30% discount, okay, what's going to happen here? Well, here's where I want you to go look at first. Brianna, if you would put up the number one link there, the one that says, I think, gift card versus discount. And that's exactly what we're looking to do, the difference in a gift card and discount. We have a person named Ron Friedman who appears on our podcast about once a year, and he's always calling and bringing me some new idea. Ron is an extremely good student of business management, and we were discussing our mutual dislike of the way people were offering discounts, sale prices, and having a rewards program. And so Ron shared this idea with me, and with his help, we built this online tool. Now, I have no problem at this point in promoting my website and promoting this tool for several reasons. Number one, everything's free. You cannot buy anything on our website. Number two, unlike most all websites out there, when you go to the bottom, there is nothing there that says, click here to accept our cookies. Why? Because we don't have cookies. We don't even have milk there to give you for free. It's all there to help yourself. All right. The bigger point is when you use this calculator and you put numbers in, nothing is retained. When you go off the website, everything's erased. We don't know who's been on the site. We don't know what pages you've been on, and we definitely don't know anything about your numbers. So feel free to use this calculator. So as Brianna has put up the link for this particular calculator, this is what we are looking at. I'm asking you to fill in the yellow squares, come up with a name for the event, how it's going to work, and the simple thing of what we're doing. The bottom line of these is that we're not going to give discounts to our customers. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to give them a gift card to our business. So look inside the red box. Our business had $1,300 in sales. Our margin was 50%. We decided to give 20% of that away, which is bringing us down to a margin of 40. Okay, you don't take 50 and subtract 20. You're taking 20% of the 50, which is 10, to come down to 40. Your gross profit is now down to $520 as compared to it would have been $650. You took in $1,040, and notice that at this point you're down to a 40% margin. And one of the key numbers I want you to look at is that we had 10 customers. According to the number up above, we had 10 customers who participated in our promotion. And that's the end of the story. Nothing else happened. All right, so let's look at doing something a bit differently. I want to have some bonuses to it. Number one is that when you try the gift card idea, we are not discounting prices. Yeah, this is a very unique concept. And someone out there probably thinking, I've never seen this before. And I go, exactly. That's the whole idea. How much money do we spend from putting up a sign in front of our business, the way we put it on the website, a sign, however we merchandise and the things that we do, and then we turn around and follow everybody else doing the same thing. All right, this one does no discounting. Number two, we're creating an incentive for the customer to come back to us, or better yet, we want them to send us a referral customer, someone that has not been in our business perhaps. The idea is that we like the idea of what's it called, regifting. Well, that's it. We're going to give our customer a gift card, and we're going to hope that they're going to gift it to somebody else. This concept increases the average ticket size in your business. Why give an incentive for a customer who just walked in the door? It's that proverbial 20% off anything. They spend $1, they spend $20, they spend $200. There's no difference. An important factor in knowing how to drive business to make it bigger is we need to know what's the average ticket size. Okay, so average ticket size, whether you calculate it for a week, a month, or a year, you take the number of total sales, dollar amount, total number of sales. Then you take and you calculate how many times did the register go cha-ching, cha-ching, okay? How many sales did we have? And we divide the number of sales into the total dollar amount, and that comes back with a number that is, this is the average size ticket in your business. If you don't have this, I strongly encourage you to know this, and I will tell you it's pretty essential to making this promotion work to its maximum for you. The idea behind this, if you know that the average person is going to spend $25 in your business, why reward them for spending $25? Let's bump it up a piece to where the reward kicks in when you spend more than what the average ticket is. So now already look at what we're doing here. We're increasing the size of the average ticket. We're getting rid of the discounting, and we're going to send the customer off of our website or away from our business with something that's going to take and encourage them to come back or to send to somebody else. And what we have found through our test with this is that the average ticket, when the card comes back to the store, actually increases. And as I'll show you here in just a couple of minutes, you're going to make more profit. The key is, this is nothing more than a gift card. Okay, just a plain old piece of plastic. A gift card unique to your business. And all of these incentives are going to kick in for you. No discounting. Somebody new coming to the business, or someone else, or someone coming back to the business. The average ticket is bigger than, excuse me, than what it normally is. The average ticket is even bigger on the return trip when the card comes back. As I'll show you here in a moment, we're going to take and we're going to be making more money. All right, back to this average ticket. It doesn't make sense to give any kind of reward or a discount when a person is going to spend only what they were going to spend coming in. You're more apt to see people look at something and go, oh my gosh, if I spend another $10, I'll get this card. Great. That extra $10 is also at full margin. No discounting occurring here. That's key. You'll need to determine the amount for the gift card. The key thing is this calculator is going to help you do the math. And I'm going to encourage you that when we get down to the bottom of the page, we're going to look at the gift card and go, okay, is this enough? Does this work? The numbers will be right. You may wind up having to test this a little bit in your business to see what does the best way for your individual business that takes and produces the biggest results for it. So we've determined what the amount of the gift card is. Bottom line, I've got a sale, and in this sale, I've got no loss margin, and I've got a customer who either has the incentive to return or the incentive to send me somebody else because they have decided to take and gift the gift card to somebody. All right, so I've got some pretend numbers in this business. Here's mine. By the way, this is my example. This is not to be your numbers. This is my example. Let's go down the line. Our promotion is you spend $100 and I'm going to give you a $20 gift card. That's the name of my promotion. All right, let's go down with all these. In dollars, how much does the customer need to spend? All right, well, we just said they got to spend $100. I'm going to give you a $20 gift card. My sample business says that they get that we have a 50% margin. What we have seen in our test business that the average ticket where it was $100 is now going to be $120. They're actually increasing. The two amounts, the $20 just happens to occur. All right, it's not like it has to match that exact number. But you're telling people if you spend $100, all right, well, most likely in this business, their average customer was probably spending something like 85 bucks. So what they're pushing is to get this extra $15 out of them and say the promotion starts at 100 bucks. There's something about it when you're giving away a gift card for $20. There's something in our heads that kind of kicks in and goes, well, I'm really only spending $100 because I get this $20 gift card to go with it. So I'm going to buy something extra. In our business, we said, and we expect these numbers to be very low, that only 10 people hit the qualifying number. Now, I kept the numbers very low because I want you to see that this thing really can work. So we said 10 customers qualify. This is another number that's really low. The real number that we saw in the last business that tried it was 87%. But for the sake of making this look right, we said only 50%. We gave out 10 of the $20 gift cards because they made this purchase of more than $100, and only half of them came back. So there you see the number 5. Here's what happens. The person comes in, there are no strings attached to the gift card. Okay, there's no like you got to spend this amount. It's just here's a $20 gift card. What we have seen is people spend more money because they think it's like they picked up a $20 bill off the floor. Now, let's look outside the red box, just below it. 2 columns. We've got a gift card and we've got a discount. Notice right off the bat what's occurring here. $1,200 in sales in both cases. 50% margin, but on the right, we're giving away 20% of it. So the gross profit initially is $600 versus $480. With no gift cards coming back, $600 compared to $480. But this is where it begins to take and kick in. Look below. Notice what you see there is the return sales from people. There's $550 in additional sales from people walking in. Our cost is $50. All right. Where's the $50 come from? You have 5 gift cards coming back. They're worth $20, but you've got a gross margin of 50% on it. So you have a cost of $10 for each gift card that comes back, $50. All right. So in essence, you picked up $500. Look at the difference as you read all the way down. Look what has happened here. This is like amazing. All right. So let's discuss some of the items. Number one, initially the customer count is the same, but the average ticket is different because with the discounting, there's no incentive for you to buy more. There's no level that we're trying to get you to, and that's the key behind it. When you simply discount, people look at it and go, well, I can come back tomorrow and get something else. When you have the gift card, it's each visit, this is the amount necessary to be spent to get you to receive that deal. The gross sales initially are the same, gross sales, okay? That's before we get to that big part of discounting that's happening in the situation on the right. The profit is different because the discounting is occurring, and that's taking money right out of the drawer. So if you did this with a discount and the discount percentage is greater than what your net profit is, just look at your last month's profit and loss statement. Okay, didn't we lose money on this deal? And that was with this person's business. When she did the calculation, he goes, this does not make sense. And I go, no, because the person who taught it to you didn't have you run numbers on it to see if it's right. It's one thing to say it to a group of people, but it's something different when you can back it up with a, hey, let's calculate it specifically to your business. So now let's think about that gift card. Do you or do you not want the gift card to be redeemed? All right, so let's look at business as a whole. All right. When people buy gift cards for Christmas, which is a growing item, a big item, I mean, it's big dollars at Christmas time, you will see as soon as Christmas is over, a push, an increased push by the people who sold you the gift cards for you to come in and use them. Why is this so? For them, accounting wise, a gift card is not a sale. On their financial statements, remember, big businesses have stockholders, and stockholders are looking at what were the sales. If they sell $1 million worth of gift cards, it's not really a sale. See, in accounting, the sale doesn't occur until the customer has the product or the service that they bought. So in that last week, the business before New Year's, the business is pushing, come spend your gift cards, come spend your gift cards, and then they tally a sales. You're an independent. It's somewhat different. You've got the money in hand. Now, this is where you have to make the decision. If you sold during the Christmas holidays $1,000 worth of gift cards, that's money sitting in your checking account. On your financial statement, there's a notation there that you owe your customers collectively $1,000. And I understand to a very small degree the business that says, good, I hope they don't come in and redeem it because I've got the $1,000 and it sits there. And yes, I've even seen the business that says, hey, if you don't use this gift card, it expires in 1 year, something like that. But then I've seen the business that says, I want the customer to come in because I have a great staff and my staff knows how to sell. And that person is more likely that not only will they use the gift card, but they will buy something else. So if the gift card's not redeemed, what happens to your profit? Technically, nothing. Your profit does not go up. Your checking account shows that you've got more money there, but the reality is you owe it to somebody. If the card is redeemed, yes, your profit does go up. Okay, that's key. The profit does go up. You just got to make the decision whether or not you believe that your people are good and qualified to know how to sell things to people. And the other part is, if I've got a gift card and I never use the gift card, what's the chances I'm going to come back to the business? Obviously, it doesn't appeal to me. So why would I bother to want the silly gift card? So what percentage of gift cards are you expecting to be redeemed? I hope it's more than 50. I hope you're doing something that's going to take and encourage the customers to come back. Because when you can encourage them and get them to come back, here's what's going to happen. These items here are all going up. All of them are going to increase. And the big thing is where you just see that word margin, we're not discounting margins. All right, so let's look at one little more piece to it. Let's look at the whole scenario all put together. Same promotion as we described, but spend $100, we'll give you a $20 gift card. We had 10 people that qualified. I will say unrealistically expect only half of them to come back. And those that come back, we know that they spent $130. So let's go down inside the red box and see what we've got here. $1,200 is the initial sale in both cases. Both cases start out with a 50% margin, but in the column on the right, we had this 20% off everything sale. So we're only getting 40%. So what happened in our initial sales? Same amount of sales, $600 in gross profit versus $480. So right off the bat, we're shorting ourselves $120. Let's go down to the next section. We got $550 from these gift cards in return sales with a cost of $50. We have made $225 in gross profit, but on the right, you see that we have made no additional profit because we didn't give discount. We gave discounts, we did not give gift cards. Big number. What's the difference? Well, we got $1,750 versus $960 in sales. The cost for the sales on the left is higher. Why? Because we've got more sales than we had in the column on the right. Okay, so there's $325 increase in our cost, but the profit, let's look at the profit. $825 in gross profit versus $480. As you see in the bold on the far right, that's $345 more profit dollars. Look at the margin. On the left, it's 47.1 versus 40. It's 40 on the right because we gave off a 20% discount. It's 47.1 on the left because we are factoring in what is the cost of the gift cards that we gave away. And it was 10 gift cards, but only 5 came back and their cost was $10 a piece to us. So we have gained 7.1%. All right, so now let me address that issue. Because I did have somebody at one point look at this and go, that's it? All that work and all I got was 7.1% more? And my response to that business owner was that I invited them to take a look at their last income statement and say, how much is the bottom line on your business? What's your gross margin? And the gross margin for their business for a year was 6%. And I said, let me ask you to look at this slightly different. Last year, your gross profit, as stated as a margin, was 6%. With this program, we have just more than doubled the net profit in your business, doubled the net profit in your business for a year. I think if you look at it in that light, you're going to go, this thing is absolutely amazing. But I want to take it one more step. It's kind of like the free Ginsu knife, but wait, there's more coming. Yes, there is. Notice the last number, 15 customers versus 10 customers, an increase of 5 customers. Is that important? Yes. And Brianna, if you would at this point, if you'd put up the link for the second calculator. This second calculator says, so what's the value? Where are we getting out of that customer? I really like this calculator. I've seen it offered by various people. I'm most thrilled because I've seen it in a book. It's a really great book to read. It's called Reinventing the Wheel by Chris Zane. He's a bicycle dealer. He's in Connecticut. The sad part with the Chris Zane story is the number of people I've seen, particularly in the bicycle industry, who read it and go, that will never work. And yet he sells more Trek bicycles than any dealer in the world. So when I've had a bicycle dealer come to me and go, oh, I don't believe that stuff. And I go, who do you think I'm going to believe when it comes to doing what we're going to show here? The person who sells more than anybody else, or your business who's out there, you're selling some, but you're just kind of average. Let's look at this calculation. Rows 1 through 7. Row 1, what's the average size of a ticket in your business? Okay, that's back to that thing we looked at very early. What's the average size of your ticket? Number 2, you probably have to estimate this one unless you've got a really good database that keeps track of all your customers. What's the average number of times that the customer does business with you? Okay, number of times over the course of the year the customer does business with you. Multiply 1 times 2, and the answer is this average customer, this is how much money they spend with us over the course of a year. How many years do you think you're going to do business with a customer? 10, 12, 14 years that you're going to keep it? Or are you in an area where people are moving? Generally, the older your customer, the longer they're going to stay with you because they're not as movable. When you look at the younger crowd, the millennials, that they are more career oriented at this point in their life, and they're here, then they move and they move again. Okay, I see a lot of them with numbers. They're changing jobs and locations every 3 or 4 years. So need to look at your customers and say, for row 4, what's the number of years that the average customer does business with you? Now multiply row 3 times 4, the answer is on 5. How much money does that customer spend with you? Row 6, what's your commission or what's your gross margin, however you determine it? Multiply, and the bottom line, number 7, comes up with lifetime value of a customer. How much money do you make off of that customer over the lifetime? All right. So if you read the book, which I heartily recommend, and by the way, as I heartily recommend it, please do not go buy this book on Amazon. Go find a local bookstore. If they don't have it, get them to order it for you. Chris Zane's answer for row 7 is $12,500. Average customer has a lifetime value to him at $12,500. This is why, as you read the book, he's willing to do some of the crazy things that you'll see in the book because he knows how valuable they are to him. Okay, so that's how the thing works for the gift card. I have several other calculators up there that I don't have time today to show them to you, but let me just tell you, when you're on the profitsplus.org website, there's a green toolbar, it goes across the top. Second word from the right is calculators, and there's a pull down menu. There's 47 calculators. Here's the ones I want to highlight to you. The first one's called AMP, Advertising, Marketing, Promotion. It's a downloadable planning tool to show you how to plan what you want to do over the course of 12 months. Number 2, if you lower your price, this is an important one, that 20% discount deal. If I lower my price by such and such, how many more do I have to sell to make the same gross profit dollars? Or how many more do I have to sell to make the same gross sales dollars? If the answer is I can't sell that many, then this calculator is telling you, then don't take and offer that discount. Another one is, how do you take and plan for your markdowns? How much do you buy? And it's causing you to look at the effect of when the season for whatever this item is over, how many do you have left and how much are you marking down their prices? And we have several times seen it where people are marking them down and they're starting to lose the profit off of what they sold initially. What does this mean? Many times it's telling you simply, don't buy as much as the product. You'd rather run out and not have to give discounts than to think that the discounts are a necessary part of it to move all the inventory. And the last one is the promotional one. This is how to plan an event. It helps you to look at how much money did you spend in all your advertising and marketing, and then how much are you doing to make the event look really good and to engage the customer. Those are some of the 47 calculators, but those particularly relate to what we're talking about today. My last couple of closing comments. Item and price advertising is what you start to do when you fail to track your customers. Again, back to my friends with the $20 deals. They don't talk to me. Bonefish Grill, they don't talk to me. All you do is occasionally send something out, and it's not relevant to just your regular, consistent customers. You treat everybody like they're on the first step all the time. Not asking for referrals and not tracking the existing customers just means you go back to that same item and price advertising over and over and over. And then what I see with that is like watching the movies Groundhog Day and 50 First Dates, right? Most of us have seen those movies. The common thread is something happens and then they do it again. And then they do it again and they do it again. Okay, 50 First Dates and Groundhog Days were comedies. They're not business plans. Item and price advertising, where we do item and price and it's every whatever day of the week or of the month. Okay, it's the same thing like watching those two movies. My last slide is a plug for the SBDC. I wholeheartedly believe and endorse what SBDC does. We're glad that you came and joined us today, but I'm going to suggest you take it a step further and make a point to sign up for someone as a counselor from the Iowa SBDC for your business. Business is going great, good. You ought to meet them and show them what's going on in your business. Business is a challenge, great. Let them come and help make it better. You can get a scheduled appointment with someone from an advisor. The key is meet them now before the next opportunity comes or the next challenge comes, so that this person knows you, knows your business, and is on the same page with you. If you have a question about what we've talked about today, I will gladly respond to your email, respond to your phone calls, glad to talk to you. Particularly if you put together the calculator and say, I got questions, what do you think about it? Well, for one, I'll tell you, you need to test it, but I'll be glad to answer questions for you. Brianna, Mackenzie, that's my time for this morning. That's my message. I appreciate everybody being with us and hope everybody goes out and has a great day of selling, whether you're online, whether your product, whether your service, whether you're brick and mortar, whichever the format. I hope it's a great Tuesday and the rest of the week for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate you being here today and giving us a lot of really good information. This webinar is being recorded and will be up on our YouTube channel after the today. So keep an eye out for that, and it'll be on our website as well. We do have a couple more webinars in Tom's series. So next week will be on Tuesday at 8:30, so same time. And Tom is going to talk to us about dead inventory. So that'll be another good one to catch. So make sure you register for that one as well. You can find our link on Facebook. But yeah, thank you so much, Tom. That was a lot of good information. We do have a couple minutes for questions if anyone does want to put some into the chat or the Q&A. If you check out the chat, I also put those calculators for you there. If you have any more questions, Tom's website is profitsplus.org. You can also take a look at our website, iowasbdc.org as well. I'll just leave this up for just a couple more minutes, let anyone put any questions. But otherwise, we'll wrap it up, and we just thank everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Tom. I think that went very well, so I appreciate you.
I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I appreciate you by coming and join us today. I'm going to be thrilled to hear some people's stories as to here's how it worked. I have one friend with a business in Iowa. Um, she loves it. She's done well, and I know she shared it with a lot of people who are